Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the channel. Today 5 of 21 days to a more conscious life. I will have to say I am feeling the feels again today. I have been just really emotional. I just got finished with an astrology new moon class with Astrology Hub, and it helps so much. To have somebody come in and put perspective on what's going on out in our skies is something that I'm really, really drawn to. So we'll definitely talk about that too at some point. But today, another one of my really favorite topics is nature. I'm going to reverse back a little bit too and just say to anybody who is feeling the feels or feeling a lot of pressure or a lot of energy that feels like it needs to be released or it's really compounded and feels heavy, know that we are being asked to flow right now and to let things, we're having cycles end. Pisces rules the 12th house. So that's about endings and about stuff that's underneath stuff. So our the internal workings that we have with stuff, the subconscious, all of those types of things. So those are going to be active with this new moon in Pisces here on Sunday. So I'm sending out extra love and hugs to anybody who's feeling the feels or feeling overwhelmed or like stuff that's going on right now is heavy, because it is. We've still got all that stuff going on in Capricorn. Okay, back to today's topic, nature and finding more consciousness within ourselves out in nature. And it's such a broad topic, right? I'll try and keep this video not too long, but there's so much richness out in nature, and what surrounds us in nature, and things that once we dig a little deeper, and kind of use like our own interests and just things that naturally, like, oh, I've always picked up rocks as a kid, like you might want to check into crystals, you know, and their healing properties, because probably a lot of the rocks that you've picked up over your lifetime, if you tumbled them or took them to a gemologist, you would see that, there's stones underneath there, which is kind of fun. So I brought in the realm of stones right before I came out to do the video. I pulled a card from the Oracle card deck from Colette Baron Reed, and I pulled emerald. So I wanted to share this, and I have an emerald heart too, a tumbled emerald heart. So I figured that was good juju for today on the days that I'm feeling the feels and needing some extra support and love and affection and wanting to send that out too. And that's really a lot of what properties that emerald has, that you being open to giving and receiving love, and to opening your heart to friendships and embracing unity, being able to remove blockages and open to becoming a channel for its healing powers and its heartfelt energy, right? And it does have great, for many, many centuries, this has been a stone that has been very common in Asian traditions for a long time, and also as a talisman of universal love. So I've got some more crystals with us here today for support too, which I usually do. So crystals are fun, and if you've been, drawn to rocks or picked them up when you were a kid, I would recommend checking into crystals. And, there's other things. I hear a hummingbird kind of chirping back in the background. I love birds, So, but birds are known to be messengers. Air. If you from astrology, if you look at air signifies communication and movement, and birds fly in the air, right? So they're known to be messengers. And there's all kinds of information that we can get and find out, about birds. If whether it be animal spirit totems, or the properties of what those birds do, or even like their migration paths. And there's so much information that we can have, and it's really Spirit's way of trying to talk to us all the time, and have ways of communicating through us, all around us, all the time. So there's flowers. I'm looking at some flowers that we have growing here up the steps to my place. So flowers is another way of medicine. Herbs are another thing that give us medicine. Plants, insects. The other day I was walking, getting ready to come up the stairs, and I saw something move over in the dirt in one of the planters, and I looked over, and there was a frog. He's just like this big, not very big at all, little round thing hopping around. And then when I went to the planter to kind of check him out a little bit more, there was another one in there. So all that is, like frogs are prosperity, and they go into the earth and they can migrate while in the winter and just bury themselves in the earth. And there's so much wisdom, and all of these things around us that we may or may not pay attention to. But I feel like it's it has been part of my spiritual and healing journeys, and has given me so much yumminess and juiciness around learning about so many of the things that are right here, that Gaia gives us and Mother Nature gives us, God has given us, to be able to love and appreciate and to feel supported. And especially, in those days where we're feeling down or having hard times, which many of us are right now in many ways. This is not affecting one class or society. This is affecting our entire world. I don't think you can be human and not have some sort of, sorry, I have a hair in my mouth, have some sort of recognition around, planetary stuff, or war, or homelessness, and, financial issues, food issues, all kinds of things. So we still are being held and supported. And I think the more that we can have reverence for and pay attention to all of these beautiful things that are around us, that are supporting us, we in turn also feel more loved and supported. And if you live in a city, there's parks, and even the herbs and plants that are around us. I have a friend who was diagnosed with was it lupus? It doesn't seem right. Anyways, but some of the herbs that he was being told to ingest had planted themselves right to his very backyard. He has a garden in his backyard, but it was in little planters, where it's amazing how nature really does. It's like the birds and the butterflies and the bees, how they pollinate stuff for us. And it's like, oh, here, you need some of this, you need some nettle, or you need some bay, or there's so many, or basil, there's so many different things that we can have that are just in our surroundings. So of course there's trees and water, the ocean. There really are so many things that we could tap into. And again, I think like whatever your natural interests are, or whatever you're kind of drawn to naturally, if you've always loved crocodiles and never really looked into them, like implore yourself to do that. It'll expand again your horizons, your consciousness, make you more aware. And I think the more those things that we start looking into and kind of further our knowledge about, the more conscious we become, the more aware we become of how important all of life on earth, all humans, not just the humans in the country that you live in, but all humans are important, that all life is important, whether it be a plant or, because everything's energy and we all need each other. There's, this synergy that happens with everything. So I hope that gives you some information to kind of look at, and wishing everybody happy new moon blessings. And I go back to our emerald here today. So universal love. Send some universal love to our entire planet. Let the ley lines be filled with universal love. Blessings.